Greetings everyone, Sylvain-98 back at it again with another reaction. Was I inhale wrong? Oh boy. Oh, not the intro I planned for my video. Anyway, let's get into checking out Carney X's The Best of Custom Armor Digimon Evolutions. And already I can tell this is going to be looking good given just this guy right here in the background.
Welcome back everybody, time for another compilation. Thank you so much for watching the last one we put up on this channel, and this time it is the turn of Armor Digimon. Taking a look back through some of my absolute favourite Armor Digivolution custom art videos we've ever done on this channel. All of them cut up to be totally ad-free, so you can just sit back, enjoy, and maybe fall asleep to some custom art Digimon videos. What is up, digital companions? Welcome back to another compilation, and first of all is my video from back when I was blonde, talking about what the armors for the Digimon Adventure cast might look like. And yesterday we're talking the armor evolutions of the original Adventure partners. We know for a fact it's not solely the case that the Digimentals or Armor Digi-Eggs are exactly the same power as the Adventure partners. The Adventure partners are not contained within those Digi-Eggs, because the armors themselves aren't carbon copies of the aesthetics of the Adventure Digimon. Because obviously Digimon like Patamon and Gatomon can Armor Digivolve to Pegasusmon and Nefertimon, which gives them a new aesthetic and new armor. And interestingly, we do sort of have a canonical example, dubiously canonical example, of the rest of the Adventure partners Armor Digivolving. Kinda. In the Digimon Adventure 02 audio CD Armor Evolution to the Unknown, translated by the Digilab link in the description as always, there is a chapter called Armor Evolving in Chaos, which really zeroes in on the silly side of Armor Digivolution, and indeed all the Adventure partners that haven't already Armor Digivolved before get to, possibly. The earlier chapters of this audio drama focus on the 02 kids kind of swapping their Digimental around, and accessing Armor Evolutions we hadn't seen in the show. But
Yep, I remember someone talking about that before to me. That was fun to hear.
During the 5th chapter, Agumon suggests that the rest of the Adventure partners try Armor Digivolving to fight Boltmon, to which Gomamon responds, well, we technically can't, but right now absolutely nothing is making sense anyway, so maybe something will happen in all the chaos. And then they all Armor Digivolve. As such, Biyomon becomes Kyukan Chomon, Tentomon becomes Jiko Chumon, Palmon becomes Chia Galmon, Gabumon becomes Kita Kitsunemon, Gomamon becomes Urashimamon, and Agumon just kinda goes doolally.
So they started calling me Frankie Donkey Brains, and it was very traumatic.
Agumon for some reason does not Armor Digivolve in this. Maybe they didn't want to commit to what his courage evolution might be, poor lad. It from there deteriorates even further, with even the humans joking about being able to Digivolve and a bunch of other silliness. As I said, this audio drama is kinda crazy and possibly non-canonical, but it is at least an official media exploring the idea of the original Adventure partners Armor Digivolving. Besides, of course, Gatomon and Patamon, as I said earlier. I definitely would like to see a less dubiously canon take on this, or at least a more serious look, you know, maybe in something in the future. Just because I absolutely adore Armor Digivolution and I'm always looking for excuses for it to be explored further. I now want to thank the incredibly talented HLR Art, who has drawn depictions of every single one of the audio drama Adventure Armor Evolutions. He said he wanted to achieve a look for each of them which matched the style of Nefertimon and Pegasusmon, not visually but in as much that the Armor Digivolutions use the body of the rookie but either elongate or stretch it out to fit the form and then armor them rather than feeling like a full stage step up like to champion level, as well as trying to keep the consistent theming of the Armor Digi-Egg. First is Biyomon's Love Armor Digivolution Kyukan Chomon.
Yeah, you know what? I can see that being a possibility. Actually makes sense.
HLR based this design on its name origin, the Common Hill Miner, whose scientific name is Gracula religiosa. HLR took the religiosa part of this name to inspire the design, especially as the Digi-Egg of Love reminds him of a Popat. As such, HLR saw Kyukan Chomon as a kind of priest in a religion around Valdemon. This holy bird design would also link the ring or cuff Biyomon wears evolving into a holy ring. I absolutely love this interpretation. I think it all comes together so beautifully by including Biyomon's body and the Digi-Egg, as well as a new direction we haven't seen with the Digi-Egg of Love before. Next is one of my favorites of this bunch, Jiko Chumon, who is Tentomon with the Digi-Egg of Knowledge. HLR wanted to
Did they have to give him a pompadour?
use an insect to tie into Tentomon and knowledge that hadn't been used before, so settled on an earwig. Jiko Chumon's name contains trouble and order in Japanese, and so HLR settled on a kind of schoolroom criminal, making Jiko Chumon a Bancho or Bancho adjacent Digimon. He is
That was the first the Yu Yu Hakusho character. Oh yeah, I remember him.
trouble but is part of a gang which has order or a hierarchy. I really like this depiction as it both fits to the name and design conventions, but also really ties together that Japanese classroom troublemaker aesthetic with something annoying like an earwig to make for something I think especially fits into that audio drama's kind of zany mood. Then is Gabumon's friendship armor Kita Kitsunemon. HLR was inspired by Cubimon for this Northern Fox design.
I mean, yeah, I can see the appeal.
and folded in the lightning elements from Ragermon. He also says because he is a fan of The Flash, he thinks Kita Kitsunemon would be a speedster, acting as a messenger to different Digimon groups around the digital world when there is urgency. This design I think feels the most likely of the group, one I can see really happening, and I think feels like a good origin point which could lead into Ragermon via the Digi-Egg of Friendship. It also just feels like a really fun take on kind of an alternate champion form for Gabumon if nothing else. Next is Chia Galmon, Palmon with the Digi-Egg of Sincerity, and HLR says this was the easiest to make. If you
I mean, fair. Yeah, I could see that being part of it.
consider Palmon a child and Lilymon an adult, Chia Galmon slots into the middle as a teenager.
True.
Specifically an American cheerleader teenager, as Mimi's character is very connected to American fashion culture. When I first read about the audio drama, Chia Galmon was the one that I could see most clearly in my head, and HLR's art is almost exactly what came to me. It folds in the elements I expect from the Sincerity Digi-Egg easily, because, well, Sincerity mostly just means grass. I could easily have seen this in something like the Ponchomon episode of Digimon Adventure 2020 in place of Ponchomon. And finally, we have Urashimamon, Gomamon's reliability armor. HLR said this was the hardest to come up with. He only had the legend of Urashima Taro to go by from Wikipedia, and that's what informed the net and turtle shell design. He also wanted it to feel somewhat like a very futuristic android, like Astro Boy, but during the design, a scar across the eye felt appropriate, making him a sort of pirate android, which HLR says fits Vikemon. I actually really like this idea because at first a kind of futuristic android might seem really out of left field, but I think it works well when you compare it to the vehicle-based Submarimon. The metallic vehicular armor and cockpit, etc. would make a lot of sense if the original Digimon that inspired it was this kind of futuristic android pirate.
I mean, it makes sense to me. I mean, it looks good. It keeps on the design too, and it adds to the namesake of the legend that inspired him.
I will say of all of these designs, I was least initially sold on this interpretation, but HLR's explanation that he gave me now contextualizes it so much more, and I actually kind of like it. Kind of like Shakuamon, I guess. So that's a look at what potentially armor evolutions for the adventure partner Digimon might look like, based on our one canon example of it kind of happening. I do feel a little bit bad for Agumon, who kind of gets the short end of the stick in the audio drama, so I wanted to give a quick shout out to @ElPoyomon, who many months ago now, video production schedules are crazy, worked together with me to design a Agumon armor Digivolution, Razormon. The idea here was to do something similar to Flamedramon, but with a full dinosaur leaning as opposed to a draconic leaning, inspired by Agumon's dinosaur aesthetic. I wanted it to feel different to Flamedramon, but also familiar, a kind of echo, and we settled on something inspired by raptors. I adore this design, and
Hey, I'd download that design. That looks awesome. I'll have to screenshot this later, actually, when I think about it. It looks cool.
Poyomon did so much good work bringing it to life. We settled together on the name Razormon due to his incredibly sharp claws, talons, armor pieces, and others. I think it's a striking design which really feels like a progenitor to Flamedramon. Oops, almost forgot this one in the record. Look at that hair once again. This is Dark Armor Digivolutions for the 02 cast. We are going to be looking...
Well, that was the Armored Evolutions of the Adventure group, so I'll be keeping it there for now. But that was some pretty good art. I like those arts. Those were pretty good, especially Razormon. I'm an Agumon fan through and through. Like I said, plus his art looks so detailed, so good. It felt like it could have been in the anime, but we were robbed of it. Oh. Anyway, please look forward to more of this, because I am loving this alternate custom Armored Evolutions. Anyway, you guys take care. Please like, comment, subscribe down below. Let me know what you guys have for other requested videos of Digimon down below. And let's keep on reaching out for more people to enjoy Digimon content and Toku content. You guys take care. See you in the next video. Bye!